Hello again, everyone. It's Jeremy, and we've got two more tractor attachments in today's video. Now, these two attachments deal with combining or deal with harvesting, one more so than the other. Now, you can see the one in the foreground here attached to our tractor. What we've got is a grain cart. And this grain cart, you can see the auger here. It moves up and down. So we've got a little articulation here, and we've got a little kickstand right here when we're not using it that we can drop. We've got large tires on the back, and I know it looks a little big for what it is, but when you look at some pictures, and I'll include a picture of one later on in the video here, they're pretty similar to the back size or the size of the regular back tires of the tractor that's pulling it, or a treaded tractor with like tank treads. So what we've got, we'll bring our harvester up with my custom cutting head. If you guys want to see this custom cutting head on the harvester, check out one of my earlier videos. I go through different cutter heads that I created for this smaller combine, and looking side by side, they're not really that great of a comparison. I need to get that larger harvester that came out in 2010. I think he's around $100 used right now off Bricklink or eBay, so that'll probably be a purchase I'll make at some point here in the spring. So what we've got, you harvest, goes into your combine and your hopper, and then once your hopper's full inside your combine, you can spread it out or transfer it over your grain cart. The grain cart goes back to your silos and uses his auger to empty. So what we've got, so you can see it barely fits. So I mean, it works, but it's not the greatest. I guess we'll need to upgrade to a larger harvester here. I've got all these 1x1s that we would basically just put in here to represent grain. I'm not going to open them up only because I don't have to put them all back in the bags. Yeah, that's basically the idea we're going for. We'll have a full grain cart, so when I get my Lego farm all completely set up, I'll probably have him out there next to the harvester and have my cart full of grain. So we'll do a couple little closer shots. We can change, you can kind of see the back. I've got a little bit of yellow in there, and it's more or less just some junk pieces or extra pieces that I really don't need or I'm not planning on using on anything, so I just stuck them in there because they're at the bottom of the grain cart. Your grain cart's never going to be totally clean, so I figured, why not? We'll move our harvester back. We'll bring him to the foreground so you guys can get a better look. And we'll move him all the way around. You can see the little stairs to get up there, or ladder to get up there to see in your grain cart if you need to. You can kind of see where my articulation is on my auger piece, and it's not on there very well. It's just on like two jumper plates, and I just had to do that to get that the spacing right on this, and trying to do this one-handed is not ideal, but we'll stick him there. But yeah, that's my grain cart. To achieve this angle, I just unhitch him and make it easier. Okay. These pieces right here, which are the bars, but they're on both sides. So there you can kind of see the better thing there. And then the hook clips, which are attached on the inside, down there at the bottom. And then, yes, this does move. It's not completely attached. I've just got it angled pretty much to the exact point that I want it. Also to where it won't rub against the tires. We'll put our kickstand down. But that's my grain cart. Here's a picture of a real grain cart just for quick reference. And then we'll move on to my next attachment that I made. Now our next attachment I had to bring out another tractor from the 2010 series, and it's because he's got a higher coupler joint than our other tractor, which I'll bring him back, and you can kind of see the difference, maybe, where they don't really have, they're not all universal, they're different. So this one's lower to the ground than this one. So I had to use this other tractor to make this, our next attachment, actually work, which works out well because now it gives me a variety of different tractors to use on certain attachments. And what we've got here is a fertilizer, like a granulated fertilizer spreader. Well, he'll go through the fields probably in the early spring or maybe the late fall. And we've got this wheel that turns. So essentially one of your wheels on the back here turns, it'll turn, go through the whole system, which I didn't make that. I thought about it after the fact, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to deal with all the mechanisms to where if this wheel turns, this wheel would turn. That might be something way down the road if I get bored and want to try to make it perfect. But right now, that's where we're at with just turning it by hand, or just the idea of it. You can see I added just a little bit of orange, a couple little cheese wedges, just to try to represent that orange triangle that you see on the back of a lot of tractors or attachments when they're on the road. Now, this one I did make a lid for, and it's just a really simple lid, and there's nothing special about it. It just looks, in my mind, a little bit better when you have a lid on top of it. You know, protect your granulated pellets that you've got in here going through your field and spreading. It'll probably won't be used very much. It'll probably be just one of those special attachments that kind of sits in my large machine shed or sits out beside the barn or something. Doesn't really get used, but it's there just for more aesthetic than anything. But yeah, that's my fertilizer spreader. We'll pop him off and we'll see if we can get a better view of what it looks like from the bottom and the back and the inside. And same thing with this, same idea, using these pieces right here that are on both sides. It's one piece, and then just the clips on the inside to achieve the angle that I wanted. Turns really easy. Put that on, you know, there's nothing to it. You'll notice they're about the same size tires as this tractor, a little different hub on the inside, but that's kind of what we're going for. I'll show a picture here in my photos at the end where you can see that there's a lot more like a balloon tire or larger tire, not really a tractor tire, but more of a plump, wider tire. But that's the best I could find with what I had. I tried to go smaller and it really didn't work that well. I'd even looked at these tires because that's probably a lot more realistic, but then they just still look a little undersized. But you can see a lot fatter tire. So this is what we've come up with, is this design with these tires. I'm happy with it. I'm sure if you guys, you know, if you want to build it, I'm sure there might be a few ways to make it even better. I don't doubt that whatsoever. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I think this might be my last attachment video for a little while. We'll move on to some other Lego related items, not just farming. I've got several other ideas coming out. You know, anything from buildings, foliage, you know, all different themes to look at. So stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching.